I'm Amy Mahaly from Be Well Clinic, and today I want to present to you the 4 seasons of body support. We've released all of these videos separately in their own season, but we wanted to put them together so it'd be an easy way for you to come, to find the different seasons, and to access the learning. There are things that we need to do to support our body every day. We need to eat good food. We need to do detoxing to keep our bodies clean. We need to avoid chemicals. We need to get good sleep. But the seasons have different emphasis. In spring, we often are cleansing. In the winter, we're often feeding and nourishing. And when we work with the seasons, with our body, we're actually going to have a more efficient outcome. Things are going to be easier, you're going to feel better, and you're going to have more success in achieving the things health-wise that you want. So I hope you enjoy this compilation of videos. You can also check these out separately if you want to. If you like our channel, please like this video. It really helps us out. Please subscribe to see more things, and I will see you in the next video with tips on how to care for your body. Hi, I'm Amy Mahaly with Be Well Clinic, and today I want to talk about winter. The winter season can be very stressful on our bodies for a couple extra reasons. And I want to talk about those today and ways that we can mitigate the stress of winter on our bodies so we can come out of winter healthier and also hopefully not get sick as often. Stressors are things that our body has to deal with that pull it out of homeostasis, and the body has to work to get back into homeostasis. Homeostasis is the state of being where our body is balanced. For example, our body temperature needs to be around 98.6 degrees. We can change a degree or two on either side, maybe a little more with a fever, but in general, a healthy body is in a pretty small range. This is true for so many other things in our body. How much sodium is in your blood is regulated every single second. How much potassium, how much calcium, as well as how fast your heart is beating. All these things our body does to keep us in balance and in health, and often they happen without us even noticing them. However, when the external circumstances of our life, like a very cold day, is present, our body has to work harder to maintain our body temperature than if that really cold day wasn't present. So what do we do about that? We want to warm our body, dress appropriately, and then give our bodies brief little stressors like run outside and take something to the trash can without a jacket on, but don't be outside so long that you get a low body temperature that your body has to work hard to bring back up. Listen to your body, give it little stressors, and give it lots of support. Eating good, nourishing food is another way to give your body support during winter. And our bodies are designed to eat nourishing, denser foods during winter. There aren't raw vegetables growing, except in our out-of-touch hothouses around the world, right? We have a global economy now. But in most of our human existence, we ate what was available. And in the winter, you ate mostly stored root vegetables and animal foods. That's a good rule of thumb to be doing in the winter, and it really helps our body. Our body can be warm, it feels nourished. We often put a few pounds on in the winter because our body is insulating. In the north, which even here in Colorado, this is a north state, we get a very cold winter compared to someone on the tropics or the equator that it's very manageable. The temperature stays the same all the time. We need to give our body help for the season that we're in, and that will help us out. Other things that happen in the winter for most people is that we are exposed to a lot more sugar, holiday treats, and travel stressors because of the holidays. So you may be getting up early or staying up late or pushing yourself in a long day because you have a big day of traveling. You're around new people. You're dealing with relationships that you may love them, but it's new. So change, new relationships outside of your normal functioning of day-to-day activity takes homeostasis, the work to get you back in homeostasis. So changing travel, meeting new people, having a change in routine, even having days off of work where you have to decide what to do, it's a good stressor, but it does make your body work a little harder than when you're in routine. These aren't bad things. I'm not saying don't travel or don't go to a holiday party and eat what your body is okay with you having as maybe a special treat, But we need to understand that this is a stressor and we need to support our body during stressors. And when we do that, we're going to have a much better experience, having more energy, being in balance. The last little thing is sleep. It is good to sleep more in the winter. General rule of thumb, if you wake up tired, you didn't get enough sleep. If you wake up rested, you did. In the winter, you may notice that you need 1 or 2 hours even more sleep than you do in the summer. That's not you thinking that you're wrong. You're not being lazy in the winter. Your body is just in a place where it is taking care of you based on the season and the stressors that are present when the weather is cold and all the holiday things are happening. So listen to your body, give it the support of sleeping enough, eating the right foods, and just being kind to your body as there are more stressors in your life during this winter season. Instead, cuddle up, curl close to your family, spend and nourish your soul with good relationships and warm foods, and enjoy the winter season for what it is, which is a time to replenish and introspect on your life. I hope you enjoy winter and come back for more tips about how to care for your body. I'm Amy Mahaly with Be Well Clinic, and today I want to talk to you about spring. We already did one of these videos about winter, and we plan to do one for every season, so make sure that you check all those out and get the one that's relevant to the season you're currently in. Spring is about fresh, clean, and new, and we're going to talk about what that means for your body. Spring, if we think about what happens in spring, things come out of the ground, there's fresh things, we clear away the old leaves, we get new grass, and that's a good picture of what we should be doing inside our bodies, our minds, and the spaces we live in. When we are listening to our body, it's really helpful to follow the patterns that the nature around us has. So in the winter, we nourish, we already talked about that. In the spring, we emerge, but we also cleanse. Spring cleaning is a real thing. In spring cleaning, what I want you to think about is cleaning your body, your mind, and your spaces. Let's talk about body first. Cleaning your body is detoxing. We talk about that all the time here. Detoxing can be an enema, a detox bath, juicing, maybe a short fast, anything that helps get the toxins out of your body. Sunbathing is a great thing to do in the spring, both because we're going to clean our bodies out, but also because we're getting used to the sun on our skin. So when we're out in the summer, we're not going to have as much of a potential for a reaction, both a detox reaction, and our skin will have developed some tolerance to that sun's rays when they get more strong. After we cleanse our body, we probably will experience some benefit, like maybe we won't have allergies so bad. Allergies are histamine, ultimately, that our liver is not breaking down fast enough. So if we're getting the toxins out on a regular basis by doing those detox methods and others that I mentioned, then we're going to have a better chance of not having allergies as severe, or our body being able to handle the new pollen and dust and green and growing and everything that comes with spring. All right, let's move on to your spaces. This can be really nice, and especially while we're waiting, why we can't quite get outside, maybe we can't quite be in the sun as much as we want to. If you are cleaning your spaces, that's actually going to give your body a lot of peace as it's waiting. Someone described this to me a while ago, and I love the concept of a little sprout in the ground, maybe coming up from a bulb of a tulip or something, and it's waiting to emerge. And there's all this pent-up energy, which we have described as humans as cabin fever in the past. So to think of like how you feel when you're, oh, I just can't stand being inside anymore, but you can't quite go outside. There's still frost coming, there's still snow coming. What we can do in the meantime is take that energy and prepare our spaces. Clean up your clutter. Get things organized, both in your physical space, either to remove things, to move the couches and clean underneath them, or to change them. Put your plants in a different place. Put your flowers in a different place. Reorganize that shelf that you've been working on for so long and putting off. Things like that to really refresh the space can be really helpful. It will help with that pent-up energy. You can use it somewhere, and it will prepare you to be able to be outside and doing the out of view things, whether it's outside or inside, that come with spring and summer. We also can look at helping our spaces of our to-do list as well, the space in our mind. If you have a huge to-do list, maybe think about refreshing it. If you don't have a to-do list and it's all in your head, maybe think about putting it down on paper so you can analyze it and organize it. If you have a large to-do list that needs to be cleared up, give yourself permission to let go of things you no longer want to do. If that deadline has passed or that passion is gone and you can let it go, just let it go. Cross it off your to-do list, make a fresh one without those things on it. This again can really set you up to use the time and your space in the ways that you want, both your mental space and your physical space. The last one is mind, and while to-do lists are part of mind, we also want to look at other things. What emotions, what beliefs, what relationships need some attention? Things that maybe you want to forgive someone or ask for forgiveness. Text that person or give yourself permission to let that relationship go for the time being, or maybe forever. What about giving yourself a break from your own beliefs? Wrong beliefs. I don't want to say anyone, but beliefs about yourself, beliefs about your identity, beliefs about who you are or what you're good at. What if you let some of those go? Things that maybe you were pondering all winter and you can let them go now. So we're going to clear up our bodies, our spaces, and our minds. And this is going to help us. It's going to help us do things with our energy now. It's going to help us with potentially having better allergies or not as much allergies. And it's going to help us with just being ready and in the sync of the season that's happening. So that is a lot about spring. Hopefully that's really helpful for you as you listen to the seasons and listen to your body in the season of spring. Enjoy this. Make sure to come back in the summer and the fall for the next parts of our series. And I will see you next time on our channel for more tips about how to care for your body. I'm Amy Mahaly with Be Well Clinic, and today we are going to talk about support for your body in the summer. This is the third in a series about the seasons. We have done winter and spring already. Fall is coming, and make sure to watch those in the seasons that they apply to. Why do we talk about different support for our body in the seasons? Because the seasons are different. When I mean summer, I mean the Western Hemisphere, where summer is hot. The sun is out a long time, we need less sleep, different food, and we have to worry about the sun in a different way than we do in the middle of the winter. So, if we talk about the sun, which is what most people think about the difference in summer, what are we looking at? In the summer, we have much more direct rays of the sun exposure on our skin. This is great because those direct rays can help us make vitamin D much easier than we make vitamin D in the middle of the winter. However, people worry. What about that sun exposure? Is that going to cause skin cancer? Is that going to be damaging? Do I use sunscreen? And those are great questions. The first thing to know is, no matter your complexion, if you eat a lot of animal fat in your diet and you have enough minerals in your body, your skin will be nourished and it will be less likely to burn, no matter your complexion. This is great news because it means that you can help your skin not burn even if you're fair-skinned. How that works is if the sun is hitting our skin cells, if they are nourished, they won't be damaged as easily as if they are dehydrated, they don't have enough calcium in them, or they don't have enough fat-soluble vitamins, especially vitamin F. When we have enough of those, our cells are resilient. When the sun's rays come, it doesn't damage them, and then our body can experience all the helpful things the sun does. UV rays and the other particles that come from the sun are very helpful to us. They help to detoxify our cells and our body. They help to energize the cells, which is why you feel so good when you've been out in the sun for a good amount of time, whatever that means for your body. And they make vitamin D. It's actually the rays, the UV rays, meeting cholesterol in your skin that is what makes the vitamin D. So, you need to eat animal fat for your body to make vitamin D. It doesn't just magically appear when the sun hits your skin. And what's really cool is that cholesterol helps prevent any damage from the sun's rays to your skin. Now, does that mean you just go out and stay in the sun forever from day one? No, you need to work up. Our skin isn't used to it. Melanin needs to come in. We need to have that tan to protect our skin. We need to pay attention if we are spending way more time outside than we're used to or that we're able to tolerate. We need to cover up. We need to figure out what way to protect our skin. And if you are boating or on the water, you also need to make sure that you are protecting your skin a lot better than if you were just playing on a grassy field. The reflection of the light is going to intensify the sun's rays and cause you to be damaged much more easily. If your skin is not getting damaged, you don't have to worry about your skin being damaged. If you are not frying and burning and blistering multiple times every summer or even every week for some people, you don't need to worry about the sun hurting you. The sun is helping, the sun is detoxing your body, and toxins are what lead to cancer. Detoxing is what helps our body to stay healthy. So, the sun's rays are good. We want to make sure we're ready for them, that we're used to them. We cover up if we're not ready for the length of time we're going to be outside, or we find some non-toxic something to put on our skin. We do have a video about skin that just published that if you want to learn more about skin in general, and we have a couple blog posts on our website about care for your skin during sun exposure. All right, so we want some sun exposure. This is one of the benefits of summer. Take care of your skin. 2, that sun will help you detox. This means you need to stay hydrated. Hydrated is not just water, although water is important, but it's also about minerals. One of the things that happens when we make more vitamin D in our skin is that vitamin D goes into the bloodstream and it pulls calcium into the bloodstream to match it. We need vitamin F, remember I mentioned that, to put the calcium back in the tissue. Calcium in the tissue helps you not to burn, which means vitamin F in the tissue helps you not to burn. What is vitamin F, you ask? It's a fatty acid combo that the liver makes, and eating animal fat often helps you make it, but some people need help. There are supplements for that. This is a video for another time, but vitamin F is really important, and you can look it up. It's a fun thing to study. All right, so we have enough D, we have enough calcium, we have enough vitamin F. Our skin is doing well. We're not overexposing it. We're detoxing. We're drinking water. The water helps us to get the toxins out, so don't get dehydrated. Not only is it bad for you, but why do we get headaches? Because the toxicity is building up in our brain and other organs that we feel yucky, and we need to drink enough water to flush them out. So flushing out, being hydrated, keeping that urine pale yellow is important, and make sure you're putting minerals in there, especially if you're sweating. So how do you eat minerals? You want to take good sea salts, like Redmond salt, Celtic salt, or Baja Gold salt are my favorites. You can take pinches off your hand. You can put pinches in your water. Make sure you're salting your food well. All of those things are going to help you and make sure your body's getting minerals. When you're doing it to taste, meaning you're taking as much as you need, that's how you can get enough. There's also helpful tools like Highland has the bioplasma. There are some different electrolyte mixes. Just make sure they don't have a lot of crap and fake things in them. And you can make your own. All right, so that's salt. That's detoxing. That is staying hydrated. And then the last thing that the sun is doing is it's energizing our cells. This energy is really helpful to our bodies. Of course, having energy in our cells is good. It gives you energy. It will help you get through your day. It will help your cells do what they need to do. It will help them to cleanse. It will help them to make and produce whatever they are supposed to make and produce, depending on which cell it is. And it helps them communicate with each other and be more in sync with the rest of you. So this improves your health a lot, and being in the sun is a great plan. All the seasons, but in the summer we think of it a lot more. The other thing related to the sun, but not directly, is how long the sun is out. Even though we do need a certain amount of sleep, it is true that when the sun is out longer, we need a little bit less sleep. This might be not as much true for kids or babies. It may not be really true for you if you are recovering, if you're not well. But if you are finding you need an hour or even 2 hours of less sleep in the summer, that makes sense. That is normal. So it is okay for you to do less sleep if your body is wanting it in the summer. But it's still good to make sure you're sleeping at least an hour or 2 before midnight, because that is one of the times that your body repairs the most efficiently. So don't stay up super late and get up super late in the morning. Go to bed maybe a little later and you might find you're still waking up at the same time or sometimes even earlier. Listen to your body, of course, and what it needs. And that's about sleep. The last thing we want to talk about is the difference of how we eat in the summer. If you're not familiar, there is a concept I talk about called feeding foods, fun foods, and fake foods. There's a video on that. Go watch that if you're not familiar. But the basics are feeding foods, we should eat maybe 80%, especially in the winter, of feeding foods. These are foods, protein, animal foods mostly, that help feed our bodies and give our cells and our bodies the things that they need to do what we need to do to grow and repair and produce. Fun foods are much more focused on cleansing. These are mostly plant foods. There's going to be things like grains and fruit, as well as vegetables that are fresh in this category. Those foods are great in the summer. Our body actually often needs a lot more of them. So in the winter, I recommend 10 to 20%, but in the summer, we might get 30, 40, or even 50% some days of fun foods. This would be very normal for us as we're eating seasonally. You'd be picking food out of the gardens, harvesting them, eating them fresh even every morning while you're pulling weeds. That would be very normal, and it is normal for our bodies to do that. The main thing to think about is that cold foods are going to be hard for our body because we need to warm them up. This is just a little aside, but make sure that you're not eating only cold foods all day, every day in the summer, because it's very hard for your stomach and your spleen. Your spleen is in charge of warming your food up, and it can make your spleen get very exhausted by the end of the summer if you are not eating enough warm foods or drinking a warm beverage with the cold foods you're eating. Okay, so it is great to detoxify. Summer is going to be about detoxifying a lot. The sun detoxifies us, those raw vegetables and fruit to some degree detoxify us, and we're going to be outside, breathing the air, swimming in the natural waters, in the sunshine, and it's great. So, still nourish your body, but the focus is going to be animal fat, minerals, and probably more fresh fruits and vegetables than you would have in the winter. That is some summer care. I hope that makes sense. We have more videos on our channel about lots of different topics, so make sure to check those out. You can check out the other seasonal videos that are already up. And if you like what you're seeing, make sure you come back next time for more tips on how to take care of your body. I'm Amy Mahaly from Be Well Clinic, and today we're going to talk about support for your body in the fall. This is the fourth and final season video. Our season videos are all about supporting your body for the specific season because there are different challenges depending on what season you are in. These are seasons through the calendar year, and if you are in a different hemisphere, adjust those accordingly. In the fall, we want to look at two different things. One is support for our bodies in the transition time, so getting from summer to winter, but then also things that are specific to fall itself. So first, let's talk about transitions. The biggest transition that's important to remember or know about is that in the summer, we've eaten a lot of cooling foods. Fresh fruits and vegetables, iced drinks are all things that are delicious and helpful because our bodies are maybe getting too hot, but they do put strain on our spleen. Our spleen is an amazing organ that does so much more than just immune cell function, which is what most of us know it for. Chinese medicine describes spleen a lot as the mother organ, also the organizer of a household, if you will. The spleen is responsible to warm the food in your stomach, to distribute that nutrition through the body, deciding a bit who gets what and where it should go, kind of like an old Victorian housekeeper would. And the spleen energy is very much mother energy, meaning the mother keeps going and giving and helping, and then she's exhausted. And then she gets up the next morning and does it again, all over, even though she's been tired. So we can have a very worn out spleen by the time that we get to the end of summer because we've been having cool foods and doing a lot of strain on that digestive system. So as you come into fall and you start craving warm foods, or if you feel depleted and that you just don't have enough to get going in the structure of the school system, then you want to make sure that you are nourishing your spleen. The best way to do this is to eat warm, nourishing foods. Even if it's still hot outside, think about breakfast. The mornings are cool by now, so put some warm soup or stew or at least warm eggs into your body and think about eating warm food through your meal times until you're feeling better. The other way to help the spleen is to eat really nutrient-dense foods. Cod liver oil, organ meats, and I actually really like taking desiccated spleen if I need that extra boost because I've been feeling overwhelmed by the transition or an increase of structure that comes with fall sometimes. Okay, the other transition we have to think of is on the other side of fall, that we're transitioning into winter. So fall is a lot about preparation time. And part of that is because we're transitioning into the cold of winter, where we need to be internally focused on nourishing and warming our bodies. Fall is not quite there yet, but we do shed things. So if you think about fall, we think about leaves, right? Shedding your leaves is very much thinking about what do you not want to bring with you. Now, this can look a lot of different ways. It can look similar to spring cleaning that we talked about in the spring support video. Getting rid of things that aren't serving you. Changing your house physically, getting out old things, putting stuff away from the summer fun, and getting into things that are going to be nourishing and warming and coziness. Bring your blankets back out, all that kind of thing. We also put to bed a lot of things. So this is a great time to finish projects, get your garden cleaned out, get your yard put together so that we can have this restful time in the winter that we're meant to have. And fall is the preparation time for that. In terms of organ systems, the organs that I think of to support during the fall, besides the spleen, is the organs that help us to transition. So detox organs, including lungs, liver, kidney, and bladder, which help us get rid of the things that we don't want to take into winter. Again, fall is a lot about getting yourself cozy, getting yourself settled and restful and in routine so that you cannot use a lot of extra energy, because we're going to need that to stay warm and to survive the harsher climate that winter is. Support for those organs is going to be doing regular detox things. So maybe bring back your detox bath game, start up your enemas again, do grounding and sunbathing still, drink a lot of water, make sure you put your electrolytes in there, and overall clear your body. This includes your physical body and it also includes your mind. Get things out on a to-do list. Start checking off projects that you can get done or taking projects off the list that you want to save for spring or summer next year. Finally, the foods we need to feed those cleansing organs are similar to the foods that we use to feed and nourish the spleen. The body is amazing in this way, and the seasonal support always fits together. So, nourishing foods, animal fat, protein, soups and stews, bringing in your ferments again, starting to add more spice potentially. We often drop spice in the summer because it makes us too hot, so bringing that spice back in, and nourishing your body deeply, even though it's not quite as deep of a nourishment as we are doing in the winter coming up. If your body is not able to take in those nourishing foods as much as you feel like you should be, then it shows a place that we need to address our bodies. Meaning maybe you need to bring the beet kvass in or increase it to help your liver absorb fat that you're needing to nourish the rest of your body. As we are bringing warming foods in, our body can actually show us where it may need additional support. For example, if you are eating a lot of animal fat and then you aren't able to eat as much as you feel like you should be eating for what your body is showing you, you need more beet kvass. Maybe you've forgotten it over the summer, maybe you need to increase what you're doing. Things like that are going to show up as you bring the nourishing foods in. And again, it's perfect. That's what fall is for. It's for that transitional period so we're ready to eat the very dense and nourishing, inward-focused foods of winter. But in fall, we're not quite there. We have this transition period. So, I hope that is helpful for support for your body. Make sure that you're nourishing your body and then shedding the things in your body, your mind, and your environment that are not going to serve you for the cozy, tucked-in winter that is coming next. If you like these videos, come back for the next video about more tips on how to care for your body.